Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, June 7th. It is 6:15 right now. Market's gonna open in about 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. So just keep in mind, guys, today is NFP, so market's gonna be a little crazy. And just a reminder, guys, I'm probably not gonna answer any questions till the very end. So if you guys do have questions, you're welcome to put your questions in the chat, but I will probably either not answer them immediately, or I just might not answer them at all because we're gonna be focusing on trading for today. So if you guys do have any questions, you guys can put them in the chat. I'll try to get to them at the end, but during the actual trading time, I'm probably going to overlook them unless they're like very important or something I can answer very quickly. So just a heads up, market might be kind of crazy right here on open. Jobs data was actually positive. But I'll show you some stuff that I saw. Basically, they said that this is probably the last push for positive news before we start to get the bad news, of course, as we enter into this recession. So, all right, let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Good to go. All right, I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in, and then we'll get started shortly. All right, so I'm gonna start off by marking liquidity over here on the daily. Again, I'm not gonna mark up the label. I'm just gonna put colors so you guys will know exactly. I mean, you guys already know or should know by now. These levels by their color. This is the 30 minutes. So I'm gonna start going to red. Weak ones. A lot of the liquidity actually got knocked out during the NFP news, but still a couple stragglers here for the weaker levels. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, June 7th. It's July 7th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. Market up liquidity here. As you guys know, blue liquidity is any liquidity that's above higher than the 1 hour. 1 hour above, and the red is going to be everything below 1 hour. So red's going to be weak. Blue is going to be stronger. We'll see that the NFP news here kind of wiped out a lot of it. So see what this ends up going on open. I think that's it. All right, so it looks like that is pretty much it. Let's get a few more moments for people to make their way in. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Maria. Morning, Karen. Morning, Vince. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Daniel. Morning, everybody. So I marked up liquidity right here. Closest liquidity to the bottom is going to be right here. It's a bit close, about like 300 pips away. We'll see where price ends up going on open. But as you guys know, I typically don't like to take these weak liquidities anyways. If you do take them, probably only go for 100 pips, or if you wait for it to come back down and consolidate around this area before blasting through, because it is NFP. So you're probably going to see some crazy movement here on open. All right, other than that, let's take a look at the overall bias for today. So today's overall bias, retail sentiment. Fundamental bias. Technical. All right, so looking over here at the retail sentiment is currently 56% short. So this indicates that 56% of retail traders are currently selling right now. It's not very much, so we're just going to put bullish, neutral, 56% short. Looking over here at the fundamental bias, it's currently down 60 points. Also bearish neutral. Short-term technicals, currently bearish right now. You can see here on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10-minute time frames, prices below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down. So short-term is going to be bearish. Long-term is also going to be a bearish, as you can see over here on the 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour, prices below the pivots, trend meters red, and the pivots are angling down. So with that said, we have a bearish bias for the most part. Right now, it's not very strong, but it is bearish. So we're just going to put bearish here, short-term, and bearish here for long-term. So we're probably going to look for sells today, but I mean, I can't say for sure. Obviously, price is kind of going back and forth. You guys have to remember that today is NFP. So NFP news came out right here at 5:30. Price kind of dumped down. The news is actually positive, so it wasn't really that bad. So you can see over here. I mean, it wasn't super positive, but it was better than expected. So you can see here that the change wasn't as crazy. It was, so let's see. Last month, it changed by 306,000. Now it only changed 209,000. They were forecasting to be 224,000. It changed a bit, but for the most part, that's why price kind of faked out there. Price faked out to the bottom, and then it corrected back up, and now it came back to the bottom for a correction. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens here on open. As you guys know, my main strategy that I'll be applying here on the live session is going to be the momentum pullback scalp. If you guys want to see like an actual detailed explanation of this strategy and the 1 hour strategy, just review the one-on-one mentoring session with Anelli yesterday. So I posted that in the group. Just go to the premium announcements, and it's going to be this one right here with Anelli on July 6th. Just go to that one. I explained it in private. That video is not public, it's unlisted. So you guys have to have the link to watch that video. I don't want random people just watching the video and trying to mimic my strategies anymore. So if you guys want to go and watch that video, I gave a pretty detailed explanation how the 1 hour strategy works, in my opinion, right now, because I'm still working on it, but how I'm currently applying it, and then the momentum pullback scalp over here as well. So main strategies are going to be the 1 hour momentum pullback scalp. Liquidity push, I'm still going to use it. I'm mainly going to use it as a confluence, though, not necessarily as a standalone entry, because this is probably the most riskiest strategy out of them all, because the market isn't very consistent. If the market's consistent and volatile, then it's going to be a lot better. But right now, it's not consistent and volatile, so it's hard because it's hard to really determine if you want to go for 100 pips or the full 300 pips. and it's hard to determine if you want to take the weak liquidity versus the stronger liquidity. So main strategy will be the momentum pullback scalp, and then from there we'll play with it and see where we need to go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and mark up the entry points where I'll probably be looking. All right, yeah, so I just got the 10th areas there marked up, and we'll just see where this ends up going. So we're not going to take any entries right now. Of course, I typically want to wait closer to 7 o'clock. Let me see if there's any other news for today. There's news at 7:30. It's natural gas storage, not high impact, but I'm just going to mark it up anyway so that we have an idea. 7:30 right there. Check this over here as well. Yeah, it's pretty much it. 7:30 is the only news for today. So the only thing that we want to wait for is for the market to stabilize from the NFP news. But other than that, we have news over here at 7:30. Not anything crazy, but it's still going to be of relevance. I'm going to mark up the opening candle over here on a clean chart as well, 8 o'clock. And we'll see where this ends up pushing when market opens. So here's a clean chart. Here's the liquidity chart. Closest liquidity is going to be down below right here. It's a low level of liquidity though. I think it's a 10-minute or 15 minutes, so it's not very strong. You know what I mean? We'll play by ear and see where it goes. Hey Dan, morning. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, Rick said it was a great session. Definitely. I think that was probably one of the best sessions we had in a while because it was one-on-one, so I was able to answer the question more detailed. So yeah, again, if you guys want to go and review the one-on-one session I had with Anelli, where we explained the stuff in detail, just go back to the session from yesterday. Hey, Kaner, morning. Morning, Jamie. Morning, Maria. Morning, Karen. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, market is opening in about 3 minutes. Again, just another reminder, liquidity is down below. There's no 1 hour entry for the 6 o'clock entry. And we'll be looking for price to, so mainly what I'm going to be looking for here is I'm going to be looking for direction. Once I have direction, once we get closer to 7 o'clock, I can start looking for entries, applying the momentum pullback scalp. Another little announcement, guys, that I want to make for Top Step, unfortunately, I hit a little roadblock with the copier. So I tried to set up the copier yesterday. I'm going to test it out today to see if it works. I don't think it's going to work. So with the copier, you have to trade directly on Tradebait on the actual platform to enter the trade. The only problem with that too is you can't put pending orders. Like you can't have bracket orders. I don't know if anybody's used the group orders function with Tradebait, but from my understanding, you can't execute a trade here and then it'll copy. You have to do it on the actual platform, which is kind of annoying because that's what the whole reason I wanted to use Top Step is trade directly on TradingView. So like, I think what I might need to do is I might need to trade on there temporarily to get funded on multiple accounts, and then I'll just merge them into one big account, and then I'll be fine to trade directly on TradingView. So just a little roadblock right there with regard to a copier or a copier system. I need to do some more research to see if there's anything better out there that I can copy for Tradebait, but at the moment I don't have anything right now, aside from their built-in copier, but the built-in copier needs to be applied on their actual platform. So just a little roadblock there, but I'm going to figure out a way, obviously, to get around that. So, all right, guys, other than that, market is opening in about 20 seconds. Market's about to open, and we will see where we will be trading from here. Okay, price starting to drop pretty heavy here. A lot of people are starting to chase the unemployment news that came out this morning. And there we go with the crazy movements. So liquidity right here just got hit pre-market, guys. I don't know if anybody tried to take it, but obviously I wouldn't have taken it. It's not something that I would recommend. There's another level of liquidity right there that just got hit as well. I wouldn't take it right now. I'd probably wait for it to come back down and retest it. So what I'm going to do here is I'll just leave these levels of liquidity on. This is market open, and you obviously don't want to be chasing any trades here on market open. So you can see right there where it faked out, price came down. We didn't actually get liquidity. One thing that you guys want to remember is that liquidity is technically below the line. The line is just where the low is at. Liquidity is actually sitting below it. So price needs to hit somewhere down below here for it to actually hit what we call liquidity. These are just the zones where we're looking for price to get to, but Liquidity is actually sitting down below. Thanks, Rashida. Rashida also mentioned that it's a 1 hour order block as well. Yeah, I can see that. It's like right at it, huh? There. Yeah, I see what you see, Rashida. All right, so I wasn't even planning on taking any trades here on open, so you guys already know I wouldn't have taken any of these trades. I'm gonna leave this open right here and we're just gonna follow it, but I'm not gonna take any trades right now, obviously. I warned you guys from the beginning, this is NFP. So you're gonna see some crazy movements here on open. You just wanna wait for the market to actually stabilize before you start looking for entries here, because a lot of these fake outs are going to play out. You can see exactly where it touched. It went to New York, the New York low from yesterday, and it bounced directly off it. So this is fine. I need to get a buy signal. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a buy signal to come up. Once a buy signal comes up, we can start looking for correction back to the downside. But right now, market is moving a little crazy. This is all based off the news pre-market NFP. If you guys are not familiar with NFP is non-farm payroll. It's basically when the jobs data comes out at the first week of each month, which is, I mean, today's probably one of the most manipulative days of the month. Happens first Friday of every month. I mean, nothing new here. We've been trading this for years now. So it's not like this crazy movement's like something new to us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up the chart first so that we don't have a mess here. I'm not looking for entries right now anyways. So it's not really a big deal for me to have these on here. I really need that buy signal. So I need that buy signal to come up, then a sell signal to confirm the correction back to the downside. But do need a confirmation of retracement first. So I actually want this here to close with the buy signal, and I want price to come crashing right back down. So here we go, as price swings all the way back up. And again, we just wait for some sort of confirmation here, which we don't have. All right, cool. It's fine if price pushes to the upside. I don't really care for that. Price can push up as high as it wants. But once it stabilizes, we're going to start to identify its direction. We do want it to push up or we want it to push down, one way or the other. There's no bias right now. Specifically, the bias here is starting to shift. Right now, the short-term technicals are bearish. As you can see, price is starting to shift up right here. So they're no longer bearish, they're now neutral. So there's no bias right now. Retail sentiment is bullish. Fundamentals are bearish neutral. They're probably very neutral now. Let's just refresh the fundamentals real quick. Yeah, they're neutral. They're at 17 points. So there's really no bias right now, which is fine. So there's overall no bias for the moment. So price can go in either direction. We just want to wait for that confirmation. All right, we got price above the pivots. Trend meter is currently green right now, but this can easily come right back down and shift back to a sell. So still not looking for any entries at the moment. I'm going to wait until maybe like 6:45. Once the market starts to kind of slow down a bit and stabilize, then from that point, I can start looking for some scalps. But right now, specifically, definitely no scalps at the moment. There we go. As price comes back down, it's just going to be a bunch of a back and forth movement for the most part. I'll go and mark up the zones right here so that you guys can see where price is now ranging. So where the range is at. I'm also going to mark up opening price. So now it's really just a waiting game, guys. It's really just a waiting game. Or some type of confirmation of direction. Here we go. As price comes back down, trend meter is turning back to red. As I mentioned, there's no direction right now. Until we have some sort of like stable direction, then we're going to look for entries. But right now, there's obviously no stable direction at the moment. So again, just waiting. It's still early, 6:35. Around like 650, 670, price starts to stabilize, and then it'll start to choose its direction, whether it be to the upside or to the downside. But right now, nothing. So this is more of a correction back to the downside. As you guys can see, price faked out to the top, came back down. If we get the sell signal right here, momentum's going to continue dropping. And then we'll see where this goes from here. I mean, maybe there might be opportunity for entry, maybe not. I can't say for sure, but I'll mark up the levels over here so that you guys have an idea, you know, what to look out for. All right, so I'll start following entries here. I'm not necessarily going to take them yet, but I'll start following them. If I see anything here that looks good, then I'll mark them up. And if I do decide to take them, I'll let you guys know. So we need a sell signal first. First, we need a sell signal, and then from there, I can mark up the sell. And then from there, I can put a pending order if I really wanted to. But again, you know, we want to wait for some sort of direction to actually establish. Right now, price is still kind of dancing around the middle. If we do get the sell signal and price continues to drop lower, then this may be opportunity for it to actually establish direction, because the direction for today was to sell anyways. You can see that we were looking for a sell, and if price does correct back down, then this here might be opportunity for us to look for a possible correction back to the bottom side. So you can see over here, I left the liquidity levels up. This was all manipulation right here, but if price does come back down, it's probably going to blast through this level. So the main level to look for here is not necessarily this red line, but you want to look for this blue line down here. This price didn't actually break through it. It just came and touched it, bounced right back up. But if price comes down and actually breaks through it right here, and it goes in line with Rashida's with Rashida's order block that she identified, it's going to have a lot of liquidity sitting down there. I don't know what level of liquidity this is here, but it's blue, so obviously it's higher than 1 hour. And I think it'll probably break through, but we'll see. All right, we got a couple seconds here. If this here closes, we'll look for a possible retracement. It did not close, as you guys can see. We still have to wait for that confirmation of momentum. So the market is still moving crazy here. You can see we had a sell signal at the very last second. It just disappeared. So that's exactly what you want to be careful for, because you don't want to get caught in these fake outs. So just waiting here again. CJ just got in. No, you didn't miss anything, CJ. It's just a crazy movement on open due to the NFP news. We're looking for market to stabilize right here. If we get the sell signal, then price may start to stabilize a bit, but we want to make sure that it's like a clean close. This previous candle over here had a sell signal, and at the very last second it disappeared. The market's still it's moving a little too crazy still from the NFP news. So we're just waiting for it to stabilize. Here's a clean chart. As you can see from the clean chart, price is just ranging within this this area right here down the middle. Opening price is still right here. So I think the main target would be from price to return to opening price and break below and continue dropping from that area there. Price just got manipulated to the upside here, but then it can easily just come back down, break below this point, and, you know, obviously continue dropping. Opening price is down here, so if price does go back to open, that's going to be the target. But yeah, there's nothing here right now. All right, just gotta wait for the market to start to move smoothly. It's 6:40 right now, so we got maybe 5-10 minutes until the market starts to move smoothly or smoother. And then from there, hopefully we can start to catch some trades. But again, it's gotta wait a bit. That sell signal still trying to close, but still has not gotten that opportunity to close yet. So I would probably stay away from the 1 hour entry, guys. I mean, there's no sell signal here anyways, but another thing is that there's no sell signal here on the 1 hour time frame. Again, if you guys watched the mentoring session yesterday with me and Nelly, then you guys will see the explanation for how I apply the 1 hour strategy. There's different ways to apply it, but the way that I personally apply it is explained in that video. And the criteria here is met. There's no sell signal on the one. There's no sell signal here on the 1 hour. So I don't really have direction here either for the 1 hour entries. I mean, you guys can see our price is literally going sideways. Here's a clean chart. Not really too much going on here. Nothing there. Yeah, just rewatch it, Natasha, and you'll see. That video is not posted on the YouTube. It's unlisted, so you guys need the link to watch it. So just go to the premium group, guys. Scroll up. If you guys want to watch that mentoring session with Nelly, I'm hiding it from the public stream because I don't want other people to see it, just us here who are in the premium. So you just go to the premium group, guys, scroll up, go to live private mentoring session with Nelly, and then it'll have the video there explaining the strategy. It basically explains all the stuff that we're doing right now. That reminds me, I'm gonna go to the group here and I'm gonna delete it off this page. So it's not in the public group. All right. Yes, I just deleted it off the public group. You guys will need to go in the premium group to identify that video, but you need the link to watch it. It's not listed on YouTube. All right, here's some profits from Vincent. He actually took the initial liquidity push, total profit of 285 this morning. Nice work, Vincent. So you took a quick profit right there from that liquidity push. All right, so we don't have a confirmation at a direction. Price is still trying to close a sell signal right here. Once we get that sell signal, I think we'll start to have some sort of direction at least. But price is still ranging within this area. So let's see, it's 642 right now. So it's starting to smoothen out, it looks like. All right, so we got the sell signal right here. We're now going to look for some sort of retracement. No. All right, so no sell signal, guys. Again, you can see here the market is still not moving very smooth. That it looked like it should have had a sell signal here, but it just disappeared at the very last second again. So we'll see what happens next over here. All right, so just I wouldn't really pay too much attention to this level of liquidity, guys. I just left it on there so that you guys can see it. This is the first level of liquidity. It actually got hit pre-market right here at 29, like literally right before open. This is the one that that Vincent took. He took it for a quick little push, and then I mean, even if you enter on open right here, it still went down 100 pips, like 300 pips actually. The level of liquidity that you probably want to pay attention to is going to be the one down here. This one's the one that's actually going to be relevant. All right, still have no sell signal right now. All right, 6:45. All right, I think the market's going to start to move a little more smoother now. And I'll be looking for some possible entries for the momentum pullback scalp. So I found a way to put lines on the chart, guys. You can just do it from your chart settings, but it's super messy. So I'm not going to do it, but if I can show you real quick how it looks. So if I wanted to put the lines on the chart at every 10, I can just color this right here, but you can see how messy the chart looks, right? I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to draw my own lines. It's not that difficult. So I'm just going to draw my own lines so I don't have a messy chart all over the place. I'd rather have it like this than have all those lines messed up all over the chart. So it's not too difficult. I'm just putting about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 lines on the chart. You don't need too many because you're looking for quick entries anyways. It's just a little messy. Rashida said she was trying to set a pending order on Top Step and accidentally did a market order. but you close in profit. Yeah, no, it's you got to make sure you have the thing enabled right here, Rashida. So usually what I'll do is I'll have this set up and I'll just change it to limit so I don't accidentally hit market. But no, good thing you closed out for a small profit there. There's still no sell signal, so I'm not even going to pull up the window yet because it's I'm not going to pull up the window because there's no confirmation right now yet of the sell signal. Question from Vince. Vince is asking Yoshan, for some reason my screen at the first level of liquidity was a 1 hour. This one right here, Vince. So let me go to the 1 hour time frame. I don't see any 1 hour there, Vince. Like, so where does it show on yours? Because 1 hour would have been right here, right? There's no levels right there at the 1 hour. So you might be on the wrong time frame. I'm not sure where you're looking. Before 6:30. So at 5 o'clock, you're saying, right? So I went back in time right here. There's still no level at that point because the price never got to that point. Vince, still the closest level would have been right here at midnight, but there's no lows right here. So I went back in time to 5 o'clock, and there still is no there's no lower low there or anything. So I'm not sure where you saw that, but there's nothing here. So I'm not sure like what's wrong with yours. Anyways, guys, no questions right now. So if you have any other questions, I'll go back and answer that later, Vince, if you have some more questions regarding that, but I'm not going to answer any more questions right now. We're still looking for entries, so I don't want to get bogged down by answering questions and miss some entries here, but I don't see anything there, Vince. If you saw my chart and there was nothing there at 1 hour, so either you mismarked it or I don't know something, but I didn't see anything there at all. Or and I went back in time too. So if I went back in time, it should have been there. Yeah, next time just take a screenshot of it if you have that same issue, and then we can take a look at it. But I tried to look back at it. I didn't see anything over there. Rick is asking if there's a V1 at 633. This is a quick question here. So there's no V1s right now because there's no overall bias, Rick, but I can see if there was maybe one there. So if there was a sell overall bias here, then yeah, this would be a V1 variation. But I don't think there was a sell bias at that time, or I don't know, I could be wrong. Because the reason why I know there's no sell bias is because the 1 minute candle is like way up here. So if the 1 minute candle is way up here, there wouldn't be a short-term sell bias, it'd be neutral where it is right now. So I mean, it's a V1 pattern, but it's not a V1 variation because the retail sentiment's bullish, long-term is bearish, fundamentals are neutral, and short-term is neutral as well. The reason why I know it's neutral is because price is way up here. I know down here price was bearish, but since the 1 minute over here is way up here, it would identify this as a neutral. Because if you look over here, everything's above the pivots, right? Above here on the 1 minute, over here on the 5 was right in between, and right here on the 10 minute was right in between too. So it was a V1 pattern, but not exactly a V1 variation. You need to have overall bias. So you'd have to have like that double body, like somewhere down here in order for it to really meet criteria. All right, let me go and move this up a little higher, guys. It looks like price is starting to shift back to the upside. I mean, it doesn't really matter to us if price shifts up to the upside because we still need to have confirmation, which we don't have yet. We do have price pushing up. We do have a bullish momentum here, but there's still no confirmation of bullish direction. So I probably wouldn't look for a buy yet until there's another confirmation. So what I would be looking for here is I'd look for price to push up, retrace, continue up higher. And then I'd probably get in on the second retrace over here because at this point, it'll be confirmed that price is to be bullish. We just don't have anything right now yet specifically. Yeah, no problem, Rick. I know the V1s are a little tricky because you have to like actively be looking at the overall bias. I only know where the overall bias is because we actually made the adjustments when price pushed up to that point. So that's why I had an idea that there's no bias in the short term. All right, still no direction right now. but we are waiting. Oh, guys, just a heads up. You know, if anybody messages you in the group and tries to get you to join another group, they're probably scamming you, right? Because a lot of you guys have been asking me lately about a certain person in the group that keeps like messaging everybody and tries to get them to like go to another group or go to someone's signals or stuff like that. Guys, if anybody messages you, if anybody like messages you out of the blue on Telegram, it's probably a scammer, right? Nobody's going to message you out of the blue for no reason unless they have some sort of motive to it, right? I don't even message you out of the blue. I'm not going to ask you how's it going. I wouldn't mind to ask you how's it going, but I'm not going to message you out of the blue and say, hey, how's it going? You should check out this trader, or you should check out this group, or you should check out something like that. So just keep that in mind, guys. Just be smart about it. You know, nobody's going to reach out to you for no reason. Whether it be for them trying to ask you questions about trading, whether asking you about the strategies, just keep that in mind. There's always going to be an alternative motive when someone messages you, especially out of the blue. Yeah, exactly. Patricia said it's a scam, especially if it's from Alicia. So if this person here is messaging you, just be careful, guys. I mean, I can't say for sure because I don't know this person. I mean, so I can't say, but I'm going to go ahead and just delete and ban from the group because I don't want you guys to be caught by any scammers here. That's actually the person that I was pointing out, because a lot of people have been messaging me that person Alicia has been messaging people. Her picture looked fake, so just to be clear, that picture already looked fake to begin with. Looked like they took that from somebody else's page. So yeah, that person Alicia, if she messages you guys, I can't say for sure if she's scamming or not, but you know, use your better judgment and don't fall for it for scams. So just keep that in mind. If anybody messages you and they try to get you to another group, or they try to get you to use a link, don't use the link. I would just block them, honestly, because they're not messaging you for anything good most of the time. They're messaging you to either scam you or do something out of the blue. So just heads up, guys. Just a heads up. Thanks, Patricia and Rashida and Natasha for, I know a couple of you guys told me about her. I just wasn't sure because I had no idea who she was. I'm not gonna accuse somebody not having proof behind it. So yeah, just be smart about that. And don't click on any links, guys. Like there's scammers out there that'll have you click a link and then they'll have access to your webcam. So don't do that. Because there's one guy in the group, not in our group, but like he joined our group and he came from another group, and he said that this guy sent him a link and he asked me about the person. And then he said that he clicked this link because it was supposed to bring him somewhere. And then after that, that same person messaged him and was like, hey, you better like transfer me like 5,000 Bitcoin, or I'm gonna leak your pictures of you sitting in your room naked doing weird shit. So like that dude, he actually sent him pictures of it because he had access to his webcam. And I was like, yeah, that's why you don't click random links, because people can easily phish into your computer if you click links like that. So just keep that in mind, guys. Don't ever share your screen with anybody like with a third party link, because they'll have access to your webcam and they can just basically take pictures of you whenever they want. Like on my screen right here, I have a little cover, so I can just cover it like this. You guys can't see you guys can't see me. I recommend everybody get that, because there's always like scammers out there phishing into people's computers to basically blackmail them for stuff. All right, so yeah, exactly. Natasha said she has a cover over camera. So sorry, guys, I'm going off track, but there's no entries for us to take here right now. Now that I see the retracement signal right here, we may have some entries here available for a buy. So now that we have some actual traction here in the market, let me get more focused here with the charts and see if we can find some entries here as we continue to move along here. So yeah, Dejan, Dejan, if you want to be up to date with what we're applying here with these momentum pullback scalp strategy and for the 1 hour strategy, go to the premium group over here, and then just scroll up and go to the live mentoring session with Anelli from yesterday. This one, I explained both strategies in detail of how I'm currently applying them. There's no specific way to apply them yet because I'm still testing the strategies, but they do work well the way that I'm doing them now. So if you want to check those out, just rewatch that mentoring session and probably the more recent mentoring sessions from the past couple weeks, past couple months. If you want to look at liquidity, go back to the mentoring sessions from May. Those are pretty detailed as well. Here's Andrew over here. So Andrew locked in a total profit of 5,043 on his FTMO. And then he also locked in a total profit of 454 on his Top Step account. So nice work right there, Andrew. Yeah, Andrew said he played around with his FTMO yesterday, and then he started his Top Step combine today. So he made some pretty nice profit, 5,000 on his FTMO, and then 454 on his Top Step. All right, we have a bullish momentum signal here that's pending, guys. If it stays pending like that, then great. We do have news, I think. Let's see, Vince said news is coming up. Let me check the calendar real quick. I don't think there's anything coming up right now. Yeah, so there's nothing right now. That's Canadian news at 7 o'clock. We do have news coming up at 7:30. Yeah, thanks for the heads up though, Vince. All right, we got some more profits over here from Natasha. Total profit of 1,509 for the day. All wins here. Nice. Yeah, Maria has a sticker right here that she puts on her computer too. Yeah, you guys should have a physical thing to block it, not necessarily a thing in your computer, because if there's nothing blocking your camera, it's still viewable. All right, so we're looking for a buy signal here. The main thing we're looking for here is for this buy signal here to close. Once the buy signal closes, we'll be looking for retracement. So we do have the buy signal right there. We're now looking for retracement here to pull back. Once we get that retracement to pull back, we can possibly look for an entry here at this next level, which is going to be at 34,100 right there. So just looking for a retracement here. If we get that retracement, we can possibly put an order right there. Yeah, and Rashida also mentioned there was a V1 variation right here that came up too. Yeah, I'm not sure what the overall bias is right now, but if it is bullish, which I think the short term is starting to shift to the upside, yeah, bullish right there, then that can be a possible V1 variation. So I'm looking for the retracement here, and then I'll possibly put like a pending order there for a buy. If it does end up close with a retracement. All right, so price did retrace right there. Let's see if price ends up coming down a little bit to fill the order.
Order's filled.
So the order is filled right there. Price is pushing up.
Order's filled.
I'm out. Full TP on that trade, guys. Quick move right there. Easy money. So quick move right there. Got out. Done with that. On to the next one. So I made a full TP right there, as you guys can see. What the hell? I got... I don't know. All my... Okay. So unfortunately, here's the problem that like the entry happened a little too... Or I don't know. Let me see. Okay. I think I might have screwed up my account because I'm using my stupid copier. Man, let me see this real quick. I was testing this copier out, or the copier through Trade-Evade, and let me check to see if it split my. I don't even know what lot size it took. Let me check. Okay, this one gave me this much. Let me check my other account. Quick. 310. I don't know if it just didn't fill my full order or if my copier kind of screwed with it. I'm trying to play with the copier on Top Step because I've never used it before, but I can't tell if it actually took it or, I mean, I don't know. It only filled 2 orders on my end. So my Top Step right now, it shows that I only made like $100 on it. I also took it on my FTMOs. So I actually made more profit on that too. I'll take a screenshot of I don't know what happened here, guys. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. So if you guys have questions about Top Step, I don't have all the answers yet. Okay, so just give you guys a heads up because a lot of you guys keep asking me questions about it, but I don't have the answers for it yet. I'm still trying to figure it out, just like you guys. But you guys can see that the trade here did. Okay, let me close this. Actually, I see what happened. The thing pulled down too fast and only filled 2 orders. So you can see right there was still 13 pending orders that were there. I'm not in this position, all right? Let me see. Okay. Let me just take a screenshot of this so I can document the trade. Okay, so this is a problem here with the futures market. It's a good thing, and it's also a bad thing. The good thing is that the slippage here is like more strict. So if the trade's moving too fast and you don't hit a market order and you have a pending order there, it's just going to fill what it can. If it pushes up from where it's currently at and it only fills 2 contracts, then that's all you get. So one of the downsides to it, I'm also playing with my copier, so that's kind of what screwed me up too. But I mean, it's all good. I'm still trying to figure out how everything here works with Top Step because I know it's a little different. But let me just show you guys real quick. I can't be mad at it because that's just how it works. It's on a more regulated system, so it's a little more strict with slippage. Like for my copier, I have my slippage set to 5 million. So whatever happens is going to fill my order no matter what. For this here, if it gets caught in slippage, it only fills like a certain amount of orders. So you can see here there's 2 buy orders. So it only filled 2 of my contracts. I had 15 contracts pending. Only 2 of them got filled, which is okay. It happens. But yeah, this is the trade I took. Here is the trade that filled. You can see here, it only filled 4 contracts for 2 trades, total profit of 100. Should have been 750, but it's okay. I still got to get the hang of this slippage, and it happens. But so that's what I locked in there. And then here is my FTMO and MFF accounts. Finally got my other MFF account back, so I'm good. All right, let me just take some screenshots. There's no entry for us right now anyway, so not a big deal, but just want to get this wrapped up so I don't forget about it, because I typically forget to take screenshots of my profits. And people are always curious. So I think it's still doable to trade Top Step and FTMO, so I'm still going to use both. For my FTMO, I'm gonna focus a lot more on like the 1-hour trades, but I'm going to try to take the same ones I take on the live as well. Just to, you know, set and forget them, I guess, for the most part. It's just going to be a little difficult. I might have to order some tools to be able to trade faster with my FTMO, but I think for the most part, we're okay right now. But you guys can hear the volume, right? It'll say like order filled when my order gets filled for my Top Step, so you guys understand when I'm in the position. Because that's like one complaint that I got before, is that some people couldn't figure out when I was in the position or when I wasn't. And there goes your answer. It's going to now say like order filled when it comes down to that point. All right, there's no entries for us right here. You can see price is kind of going sideways. We need to wait for price to push out of this area before we can take entry. So it's all good. There's no entry for us to take here right now anyways. All right, let me break down my profits for you guys real quick. Okay, so the reason why my order only failed right here, guys, is because I had a limit order. When you have a limit order, it's like I need to get in at this price. The price can't get me in at the 1,000 mark or the 100 mark. It's not going to fill. I got in 2 contracts or 4 contracts, and at that point, it couldn't fill the rest of my orders because price already pushed up. So at that point there, it just filled my orders and then it didn't fill the rest of them. So this is a trade that we took here. I just want to document everything here. This is a trade that we took here for the buy. There was no drawdown at all. Here's my Top Step account. It took 4 contracts, made a total profit of 100. Here is my FTMO number 1 account with the green strip, total profit of 2,200. Here is my FTMO number 2 account, total profit of 2,300. Here's my MFF number 1, total profit of 890. My MFF number 2, total profit of 890. And my MFF number 3, total profit of 890. So as you guys can see, it's possible to take trades on both the accounts. I'm using 2 different platforms. I'm trading directly on TradingView, and I'm also trading on MT4 with the Quick Trade Manager. So I was able to lock in that very same trade, but with multiple accounts. The copier for Top Step, I got to figure that out, but I mean, eventually I'll figure it out like when I could get this going. Tyler said, I heard it sounded like your hype, man. I know around order fill, it's when you get hype because you know that you're in the position. So it's all good, guys. So it looks like a lot of you guys here had the same issue with getting the order filled, but it's okay. It's all good. We got to take what we can get with this here. Visual said Top Step payout policy. If you make 10K in order to withdraw 100% of your profit, you need 30 winning days over $200, not consecutively. If not, you can take 50% of your profit. I think I should be fine with that, Visual, because I've been trading with Top Step. Right now, I have a 100% win rate for my days. I haven't lost. Let me see if my combine's up here. I mean, let me see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, but I saw that thing that you need for it. I think that shouldn't be bad because I usually have winning days anyways. I don't usually have any losing days, so it's pretty consistent across the board. Yeah, so my combine over here shows that I have, it shows that I'm very consistent. Like my risk reward is actually 1 to 6.5 or 1.65 to 1. So I almost have a 2 to 1 risk reward for every trade that I take. I barely have any losses, but even if I did have a loss, I closed that day winning. So my stats are actually really good. So we'll see what happens at the end of the combine and once I get funded. I'm hoping they can just help me get my accounts merged because I don't want to have to use a copier for Top Step. I'd rather just fill the orders here manually. But yeah, no, thanks for the heads up, Visual. I think it should be fine. And I think hopefully I'll be able to get that 100% payout versus the 50. Because I think once you're consistent enough, they'll let you withdraw every 4 days or every week. So at that point, I just keep making withdrawals every week and then leaving some funds in there to basically cushion my max loss, which is the only step that's available on there. All right. Nice. Yeah, Natasha said she likes the noise or the sound because she entered as soon as she heard it. A game changer when you're trading on your phone and unable to see the charts. Yeah, definitely, Natasha. I agree with you 100%. So it looks like price is starting to shift to the downside, guys, which is completely fine. If that's the case, we can start looking for sells. But at the moment, there's just nothing for us to take here right now. Liquidity is not anywhere near the lower level. It's getting close to the top level, but it's right down the middle again right here. So it's not necessarily going in either direction. Looking over here at the 1 hour chart, there was no entry here at the 7 o'clock candle. 7 o'clock candle was right here. There was a bullish signal, so there's no entry there at the moment. But we'll see what happens here in the next couple moments for any other possible opportunity for entry. Right now, there's just nothing for us to take. So just gotta sit tight and wait for another confirmation of direction. All right, we got a couple more profits over here from, let's see, we got some profits over here from Maddie. Maddie's currently up 240 on his first account. And then here is Maddie's second account, total profit of 430 for the day. So total profit of about 600 for the day for Maddie. So nice work, Maddie. We got Natasha over here. She took the trade earlier as well for that buy. Total profit of 2,087 for the day. Nice work, Natasha. So solid work right there. Here's Andreas. Andreas locked in a total profit of 585. He took that buy with us as well. Full TP with a nice green strip. Great profit right there, Andreas. We got Gian here, took the same trade, total profit of 1,140 for the day. Took that same buy, green strip, full TP. Nice work, Gian. All right, so as you guys can see, this strategy is actually really, really good compared to a couple of the other things that we're applying, because it allows us to minimize our losses and capitalize on our wins. So if you guys, I'll show you guys my top step later once I pass. Right, I mean, I could just show you here right now. Let me see. All right, this is my top step account. You can see the profits are kind of like, they're not that big because obviously the trade today didn't fill very heavily, and this updates by the day. I've done 3 days. I have a 100% win rate per day. My average win is 470. Average trade, win percentage is 72%. Average losing trade is only 285. My risk to reward ratio is 1.65 to 1. It shows here that I'm very profitable, very consistent. This is what they like to see. So hopefully once I get funded with them, I don't know, maybe there's gonna be some type of shortcut that I can do to get the other account to get merged with the main one, because if they see that I'm consistent, I'm losing and I'm winning like every day, if the risk managers see that as a good thing, then they're going to want to just front line me to the top. And I can show them my FTMO results too, and my live trading and stuff like that. And they'll probably want to just bump me up and make me one of their prop traders right away. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'd rather have that shortcut than having to trade 2 separate accounts, because it's kind of annoying having to use this copier that they have, because I'd have to trade on their platform, not on TradingView, which is the whole reason why I started to use them. So we'll see. I mean, what happens, but it's just going to be a matter of time. All right, so we're still looking for some sort of direction here. As you guys can see, there's nothing going on. The candles here got super dead and they're not really moving too much. Here is the clean chart. Let me go and just make some updates over here real quick. All right, yeah, so price is pretty much, I mean, it was ranging in this big range, and now it's in this tight range right here where there's not really too much going on. It's 7:13 right now, so we still have quite a bit of time. We do have news over here at 8 o'clock actually, or is it 8 o'clock? I think it's 7:30, right? Yeah, we have news over here at 7:30, but we need to have some sort of volatility here before we can start getting like wrapped up around that there. So we got price pushing up right here. We basically want to see price bounce between these levels, you know, these whole numbers. When you see price bounce between these levels here, it's a good sign because there's some volatility in the market. But you can see right here that the volatility is dying down quite substantially. A lot of these candles are barely moving. It's not the type of market you necessarily want to trade in, because the last thing you want to do is take a trade and be caught in that trade longer than you need to be. You know, if you look at my stats over here, like that last trade I took, I was in that position for like 10 seconds. So you typically want to aim to be in that position for like less than a minute. If these candles are not moving, you're going to be in that position for a couple minutes, and that's where the risk starts to arise, because price can reverse on you at any moment. See, we got some profits over here from Johnny. Johnny took that buy with us earlier, total profit of 300 for the day as well, all wins. Nice work, Johnny. Solid work right there. We got some more profits over here from Dave. Dave said the only day trading, really hard market, at least for himself. So for today, Dave over here said he had a difficult market, but it looks like he did pretty good still. He had all wins here, total profit of 78.75 for today. So all wins on that first account, 75.78. Here is Dave's second account, total profit of 1,620 for the day, all wins as well. We got Dave's third account over here, total profit of 32.58, all wins here. And then we've got Dave's fourth account, total profit of 111 for the day, all wins here as well. So nice work, Dave. I mean, yeah, it was a little difficult because the market's pretty choppy, but you did pretty good. Solid profits across all of your accounts. Here we go. As price starts to drop back down. If price comes back down below, that's completely fine. We don't have a bias here right now, so it doesn't really matter to us. We can trade in either direction. We just need to have a direction confirmed. So if this is the case, I'll just make some adjustments here and just keep moving these a little lower. And we'll keep trying to follow this here. But if price does drop below here, we're going to need another confirmation for the downside. We don't have the confirmation yet. We do have momentum here. Trend meter is still green. Price is in between the pivots. Pivots are starting to angle down, but they haven't confirmed yet. So we really just have to wait for that confirmation before we can start looking for another trade here. So it's got to sit tight. Sit tight and wait. There's no 1 hour entry here to follow, so we're not going to go to this chart very much. Let's go back to the liquidity. I mean, there's nothing here. You guys can kind of see here that price isn't really moving too much. It was moving right here on open. You can see how price kind of pushed up slightly, came back, pushed up again, and then the volatility just started to die down here a little bit. A lot of consolidation, came down a little bit, consolidation, came down a little bit, more consolidation right here as well. So yeah, we'll see where this ends up going, but it doesn't look like there's much of a direction here. Price tried to come down and now it's pushing right back up, which is completely fine with me. I don't mind if price pushes back up because we already had that bias set up earlier from here. We just need it to actually be confirmed. Looks like price pretty much, you can see here on the clean chart, price faked out down below. So price broke and closed past the structure, faked out, and then shot right back up. In order for us to have entry here, though, we actually need a confirmation of price to push through. We can't just have price push up a little bit and then go sideways right here. If price just goes sideways around this point, I'm not going to take a trade there because there's no direction. We like need a clear direction. It can't be like a maybe. It can't be a maybe bullish correction or maybe bullish push. It needs to be a for sure bullish push. So what I need to see here is I need an actual push to the upside. I need price to push up with the buy signal, retrace down slightly, come back up, and that's where I'm going to make my entry from, like right there. Like I need some actual push. I don't need like a small little push. Like I don't need something that's so small right here where it does this and then it pulls down to here and then maybe enter right there, right? If this happens, I'm not taking the trade here because there's no confirmation of direction. Price is still ranging sideways. It's too risky of a move for me to hop into here, especially on a Friday and on NFP. NFP is one of the riskiest days to trade. This could be a late reaction to the news. So I need price to actually push out of this area, retrace, push back up and provide entry right there. I can't get a small push right here. If this closes with the buy signal, then I need a couple more green candles to push forward so that we have some opportunity for some space here to actually push to our TP. All right, so let's see if this closes. All right, close right there. If this retraces right here, I'm not going to take entry at this point. I need this to actually push up a little further. So I need this push up at least to this next level. And then if it does that, then great. I'll look for an entry right there. But right now, it's not looking like a good area to make entry just yet. So I need this to push up a little further. And we'll see. Here's a clean chart. So this is actually good because if price does range within this area and it does what I just mentioned, then it gives us opportunity to reach for that retest right there, right? So I need price to actually push through. Yeah, if this falls under and it becomes a retracement, I'm not going to take entry at this level right here. It's too low. I need to push up a little bit higher. All right, cool. Starting to push up slightly. Volatility is not high enough. I need to keep pushing. Yeah, if this is the case, I'm not going to take the trade, guys. Price is just ranging right here. It's just consolidating. If it ranges right here, I'll mark up the entry, but I'm not going to take it. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. I'll mark up the entry here, but I probably will not be taking the entry. There's not enough volatility here. I don't want to enter this trade and then it just goes sideways and doesn't end up going to my TP. This might even provide a sell signal if that's the case. All right, so the entry technically would be right here. I'm not taking it, but this is technically where the entry would have been taken from. Down below here. So we'll follow it and we'll see. But again, I'm not going to take the trade because there's no confirmation of direction here just yet. All right, so technically the trade would have been filled if we took the trade here, but like I mentioned, I don't think it's a good trade because price is just going sideways. We'll see if it shoots back up. If it shoots back up and hits TP, great. That just gives us proof of concept of the strategy. But this is what I would consider a risky entry in my opinion. So again, I'm not in this position, just following it. Maddie also mentioned that news is coming up too, so it might go sideways till the news. And I can see that too, Maddie. That's probably what's happening. Price is just going to go sideways. So here's the case. If you get a sell signal here and you're in this position, you would have to close out of this for a small loss. So I'm just using this as an example for, okay. So here's an example here. If you enter this position, you would have to close out for a small loss, basically break even. And that's how the strategy would work. You would close out break even, and then you'd be out with basically no win or no profit. But you would get out at break even, and then you'd wait for another confirmation for another opportunity to get into the position. So, I mean, it probably still would hit. Yeah, it looks like it's going to hit, but I would have still closed at a break even. I wouldn't have risked it for price to correct back up because the direction here is just too slow. So this is an example of closing the trade early. So say, for example, you entered the trade here and you really wanted to take it, even though I mentioned that it was risky. If you would have entered right there, when price closed with the sell signal, an opposite signal, basically, you would have just closed out manually. You would click close out, and then you close out for break even or maybe even a small profit because price spiked right back up after, and then you just move on to the next trade. That's why for me over here, like we typically trade with a negative risk to reward, but you can see my risk to reward right here is 1.65 to 1 because I'm actually closing out of my positions early and I'm able to get out with a profit or a very, very small loss, which is very minimal compared to what we would normally take. So yeah, this right here hit and it worked out. I mean, it still would have hit, but I wouldn't have taken that risk for it to hit anyways because the volatility here is just kind of dead. Dave over here said he closed with a small profit. Good advice. Definitely, Dave. So yeah, small profit's better than no profit, and small profit's still better than a loss. So just keep that in mind, guys, in the future when you guys are taking these trades. Again, if you guys want to see an explanation of how this strategy is applied more in detail, just review the mentoring session that I had with Anelli yesterday on July 6th. You just need to go to the premium group right here, scroll up, and it'll be the mentoring session right here on the 6th yesterday. It was a private mentoring session, but you guys can review the video to understand how those strategies work. All right, so basically what we're looking for here is we're looking for a buy signal and we're looking for another setup here to play out. So that entry there looks like it would have played out, but we didn't take a trade, so it's not going to count. The only trade that counted today is going to be the first one we took right here with the arrows. Price is pretty far from liquidity. I don't see liquidity getting hit anytime soon. I mean, maybe price will spike to the upside, but I highly doubt it. We'll see what happens here with news. This is low impact news, but it can still affect the market. I'll set the plate through and see where this ends up going. Here's Maddie. Maddie took one last trade, so Maddie locked in a total profit of 480 on his first account. It's nice work right there, Maddie. And then Maddie's second account over here locked in a total profit of 760, all wins. Nice work, Matty. Yeah, so Matty said he closes MT4 and he's now done for the day. Yeah, I'll keep looking for entries. If the market keeps going sideways like this, I'm probably just going to close out my MT4 and my top step as well. There's just no reason for us to be forcing any trades here, especially when there's no direction. And also when the volatility here is extremely low. You know, these scalp strategies are meant to be traded off volatility, and there's no volatility right now. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said he's done for the day, not the day to mess around. Question from D. D's asking, hi, Sean, looking for that mentoring session link in the premium chat. Is it still active? Yeah, it is. So if you just scroll up in the premium chat, D, it's going to be the one from the 6th. So just go up to date 6, and there's only one link there for the mentoring session. We didn't have a group mentoring session that day, so there's should be only one link there. Let me see if I can just forward it to you. Your username is D's Nuts, right? D's Nuts Nacian. Got you, bro. I just sent it over to you. Yeah, so that link's only usable by people in the premium. So if you guys are in the public, unfortunately, I'm not making that video public because the strategy is just too good to share to the public. If you guys are in the premium, you guys will have access to it. You know, eventually we might just close down the signups altogether, because if the strategy is this good, like, I mean, it's pretty good. You guys have seen it applied every day. All the strategies are good, but this one is like next level good. It's like so next level where I'd rather just not teach anymore. I'll just apply this all day, because the other strategies are good, but if I could do this all day, like, so I've talked about this with some of the guys, there'll probably be like one day out of the week that I'll just stay on the live from like 7 up until noon. So all day I'm going to trade the strategy from 6 o'clock until noon, maybe one day a week or maybe one day a month. It's very draining. I don't like scalping like that, but if I can take like 20 to 50 trades within that time and make an extreme amount of profit, then I mean, so be it, right? Because like, for example, we did the math, and the math is crazy for these momentum pullback scalp entries. I think it was like, I think someone did it, and it was like 26 wins and like 2 losses, but the losses were only like 100 pips each or less. So 26 times 100, that's like 26, that's 2,600 pips minus 200. And then if I'm doing this with a 200K account on my FTMO times $20 or $2 a, what is it, $20 a pip, Maddie? I think it's $20 a pip, right? That's like 48,000 in like one day on just one account. And if I can do this on like 5 accounts or divide that by 2 times 5, it's 120,000 in one day across all my MFFs and all my FTMOs. And that's just trading from like one day from, you have to be on the chart every day though. So that's the downside. I'll have to be on the chart from like 6:30 up until 12. So I'm going to be really tired at the end. But yeah, I know the profitability and the possibilities of it is pretty crazy. Plus I add in a top step. I could probably trade like that one day and pass a top step in like one day. Although they do have a requirement where you can't make that much profit in one day. So I probably wouldn't do that on the top step. I would just do it on something like, I'll do it on something like my FTMOs for the most part. Nice. So here's Purity over here. Nice for Purity. Purity's been killing it. I don't know if anybody's still applying the high-low momentum scalp, but Purity's actually doing it, and she's doing very good. So she's been applying it here on gold. She locked in a total profit of 369 for the day, all wins. So amazing work right there, Purity. You guys can see the strategies work well. They work well on everything. It's not necessarily just US30. They work pretty well on any asset, really. So like Purity here sent me her results. So this was her before, when she didn't know what she was doing. She was kind of losing every trade, but then she started to like really get the stuff down. And you can see over here, she had all wins. So she went from having all losses to now all wins. She applies a strategy on US30 and on gold. And she's had like amazing consistency here. So as you guys can see, all the strategies still work perfectly fine. It's up to preference. For my preference, I like applying this momentum pullback scalp strategy because it's very intuitive. It forces me to be actively analyzing the charts. Like I'm not just sitting around waiting for an opportunity. I'm actually like analyzing the chart all throughout the day, waiting for that opportunity to come up. The other thing that I like is that you're able to cut your losses sooner compared to, the other strategies that we apply, and I'm able to have a higher risk reward ratio. I know in the past I've said that it doesn't matter for the risk reward ratio, but if you can incorporate the risk reward ratio with our style of trading, then why not, right? Because if you can cut your losses at like less than 100 pips, or if you can cut it at break even, that gives you opportunity to eat a loss later in the future. Like for example, there was a trade here, you were able to cut out of it at break even, and then if you took the next trade, you would have won, and you would have just been up double profit. So just keep that in mind, guys. I'm always looking for better ways and more efficient ways for us to make money in the market. And when I do find them, obviously I'm gonna share them with you. And I do want to keep it within our community rather than the public. I think I've done my sharing my ideas and my mentoring and my analysis with the public. But I think now it's better just focus on what we have here, so that I don't have to go and reteach like brand new people in the public, because it's a lot of work on my end to go and mentor new people versus staying within the group and just mentoring people within. So yeah, I'm pretty excited, guys, for the rest of this year, because right now we're trading in the summer, so the volatility is actually really low and it's not easy to take these trades. But once we get into the fall and the winter, it's going to be really easy to catch these scalps, because price is going to be moving so quickly up and down that we're going to be able to hop in these trades pretty quickly, get in and out, and just stack up trades. Because our testing was from summer sessions, and if we're identifying like 20 to 30 to even 50 trades a day during the summer, you can only imagine how many trades will come up during the fall and the winter when the price starts to move a bit heavier. So we'll see, but I'm pretty excited for all of us here. See if there's anything else here that I'm missing. There's just no entries for us to take right now. The summer market sucks, but this is normal. If you guys have traded with me in the previous summers, I think this is probably our 6th summer together. So I've been trading with you guys live every day for like about 5 or 6 years now. So this might be our 6th summer trading live, and it hasn't changed. The only difference when summer was actually pretty crazy was during COVID, because there was a lot of people trading from home and a lot of people are just not working. So there's a lot of like influx of new traders during the summer of COVID. But then as COVID ended and people are back in work, a lot of people fell off, volatility is back to normal, and it's kind of slow. So yeah, it is what it is, but we're going to play with it. And hopefully, if we can catch like at least maybe 1 or 2 trades even daily during the summer, that's still better than a lot of other people, because I've seen other people from different groups that are not even trading because it's just the market's not good for their trading style. Usually intraday and swing traders are having the most struggle during the summer because the market volatility is so low. But that's the good thing about scalping. You can pretty much scalp all year round. You're gonna have less entries, but you'll still have opportunity to make trades. So all right, price is starting to drop below here, guys. If this is the case, this is fine. We just need to confirm that there's a shift in direction. All right, so we just need to confirm that there's a shift in direction to the downside. And we just need to look at a couple of things. I'm looking at the trend meter mainly down here. You can see that price is below the pivots. The trend meter is currently blue right now, and we do have a sell momentum. So what I want to see here is I want price to come down slightly, retrace up a little bit with a buy signal, provide a sell signal, and that's where I'm looking to take my entry. Right there. 735, so I don't know if we'll get it, but that's basically the pattern that I'm looking for right here. And if that's the case, it's cool because price will still be moving towards opening price, which is down here. So we'll see where this ends up going through here. But like I mentioned, today's Friday and it's NFP. There's not really much direction. Price is just going back and forth. And it's going to be hard for us to really catch anything here that's like really of substance. Liquidity here still hasn't gotten hit. Here is the clean chart. Let me make some updates here. I'm going to keep drawing structure here so that you guys can see where price is. I mean, pretty much bouncing and moving from. Because it gives you a good understanding of like where to identify price to be reaching next. Price is just pushing up from there. So as you can see, price is just going from structure to structure. So price started from up here, came down, broke below. I mean, price might come back again. And it just might keep going. Like that. All right, so we got a buy signal here again. There's no direction. I mean, this is fine. If we get a buy signal here, we can start looking for buys, but there's no direction yet. We need to look for the trend meter here to align with it. But you guys can kind of see how price is just going back and forth between this area. It's pretty much a straight back and forth movement. So dawning now. All right, trend meter is now turning. Well, it's not green yet, but it's turning green. We got a buy signal right there. What I need here is if I want to take this trade here for a buy, I need price to push up a little higher. I can't just keep hanging around where it's currently at. I need price to push up through here, maybe retrace from this point, and then maybe go up from there. All right, if this is a retracement right here, I'm not going to take the trade. Hey, Brock, how's it going? All right, we don't have the retracement yet. I need price to push away from this area. We still don't have a confirmation of direction yet. I mean, it's starting to lighten up and look a little better, but there's still no confirmation of the direction yet. Price is still kind of sitting where it's been at this whole day. So here's a clean chart. As you guys can see, price is just pulling back up into this range up here. It's just faking sellers out, like Maddie said. Came down here, faked out the sellers, came right back up, and it's literally back in the same range that it was earlier. All right, there's no direction here. As you guys can see, prices like pivots are going sideways. Price isn't necessarily above it that strong, and the trend meter down below is blue. So even if we get the retracement right here, I'm not going to take the trade. I'll mark it up for you guys if it does look like a possible entry, but I'm not going to take the trade. So the possible entry would actually be down here. No, I wouldn't even consider this a possible entry because trend mirror is blue, price is in between the pivots. It's not good at all. This is one thing that you want to look out for when price starts to bounce around where the pivots are. So you can see over here, this is nice because price is going down, the pivots are spread out. If the pivot starts to cross over a lot and price stays in between the pivots, you do not want to be trading around this area because this area is just, it's not good. Also, Rashida mentioned that there's a double body right there. So that's a reversal pattern. Another red flag to maybe stay away from this area here. I mean, these trades here might hit, but they're not worth the risk. Like for example, here, this is probably going to hit. Actually, it did hit. So it looks like it did hit. Price came down. It hit the entry point would have been here at the next bull number. And then price would have went straight to TP. But again, I wouldn't take that risk. There's no point in taking that risk, especially when there's no direction set. Because you can get lucky. You know, anybody can get lucky trading. It doesn't matter where you make entries. Sometimes you can just hit buy or you can hit sell and you'll win the trade. But if you win the trade with no real analysis, then you're not really learning anything. You're kind of just getting lucky. So, I mean, there was an entry here, but it didn't fit criteria for the momentum pullback because there's no actual direction. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said this ain't it. These types of entries that'll hit today, but won't last next week. At this point, it's just luck. Yeah, exactly. CC said reinforcing luck is not a good strategy. Yeah, I agree. Because like two of these here were not good. Well, the first one right here hit TP. It wasn't a good entry. I'd consider that luck. This one right here too was not a good entry either. Even though it would have hit TP, I still would consider that luck. There's no direction. So yeah, I agree with Sisu and I agree with Maddie. It's like, this is just not the type of market to be taking unnecessary risk. For one, today's Friday, and for two, today's NFP. It's like it's a double risky day or double risky confluence with regard to the day that we're trading. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the overall direction. There's no overall direction, but I'm gonna look anyways. You can see here the fundamentals are currently down 35 points. Not very strong at all. Not really worth even noting. It's just gonna be considered neutral. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 55% short. This indicates that 55% of retail traders are currently selling. Doesn't really make a difference. We typically want it to be around 65%, somewhere like one-sided, so that you know where to trade. And on top of that, let's take a look at the technicals. Right here on the short term, 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute, price is pretty much neutral. You can see here on the 1 minute, trend meter is blue. Price is in between the pivots. Pivots are going sideways. Same thing with the 5 here. Trend meter is red, but price is going sideways, and price is in between the pivots. Same with the 10 minute here, sideways. So short-term technicals, completely neutral. Looking over here at the long-term technicals, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour timeframes, you can see that price is below the pivots, slightly here on the 30 minute. 1 hour is just going sideways, but it is below the pivots. Trend meter is red, and same with the 4 hour here. So long-term technicals are still bearish. Short-term technicals are completely neutral. Fundamentals are neutral. Retail sentiment is bullish neutral, but I think I'm just going to leave it at neutral now because it's at 55, not even at 56 anymore. So yeah, not really much here. So all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up maybe in the next 10 minutes or so. So guys, just keep in mind, I think as we continue to progress with the strategy and with trading this live, I know the public is currently live right now. So if you guys are here on the YouTube, you guys are welcome, but I'm going to start going live less and less on the YouTube. I'm still going to go live every day, but it's just not going to be streamed to the YouTube. So if you guys do want access to these live sessions every day, because we trade live every day from Monday to Friday, if you guys want the real-time live sessions, just go to the website, kodikaitrades.com, and click on strategies or the live trading room. So if you guys want access to this, I would recommend getting access as soon as you guys can, or if you guys are ready to join the group, because once I finalize the strategy, we're probably not going to go live anymore on the YouTube stream. You guys can see the replay, but it's probably not going to be live streamed for free anymore. I want to just focus on the people here within the group now. So that's probably what we're going to do. We're probably going to close the signups, and then once everybody here in the group is good, then we'll open the signups for like maybe 10 more people. And I want to focus on those 10 people, make sure everybody's good. And then we'll just keep doing that periodically. So like maybe once or twice a year, we'll open it up for people to rejoin or people to join in, so that we can focus on those people there. Because I don't mind mentoring people who are within the community, but the public it's just too much work for me to help people that are outsiders within our group. But I'm here to help you guys out. So I'm pretty excited because this strategy is pretty cool. Again, if you guys are in the premium, just watch the mentoring session from yesterday with Anelli, and you'll understand the strategy a lot better. You'll understand all the pros to it, the cons to it, and how lucrative it is to apply as we do continue to apply this throughout the year. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up in a bit. There's just nothing for us to take here. It's not a good market to trade in, and it's not a good market to sit in and watch, because if you guys just keep watching this go sideways like this, it's just going to make you want to FOMO into a position, right? And that's probably the worst thing to do, especially during a market like this for Friday and NFP. Because the last thing you want to do is get into a trade and price just goes sideways for a bit, and then it either hits your TP, it spikes to it, or hits your stop loss, when you could have just called it a day. So yeah, I'll sit around for a bit. I'll see if there's anything else here for us to take, but for the most part, it does not look like we're going to have any other entries for today. Let me see. I didn't even post this up over here. Let me just copy this over real quick, guys. I didn't get a chance to copy this over to the other groups. And I got to figure out a way to copy my trades from the Tradeovate. If anybody here has copied your trades on Tradeovate, please reach out to me so I can figure this out, because the copy here kind of sucks. I want to trade directly on TradingView, but the problem here is their copier for Tradeovate. You have to trade on the Tradeovate platform, which kind of sucks. It's not, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not great. You also can't put like pending orders. So yeah, if anybody has experience with that, just let me know, because it'd be really helpful. Yeah, Patricia, if you figure it out, let me know, because I've used the group orders on Tradeovate, but you have to trade on Tradeovate. The dumb thing about it too is that you can't put pending orders. You can't have brackets of a TP and a stop loss. You'd have to like enter the trade manually and then exit manually, which is like a big, like it's like backwards thinking, because we're already using a copier with FTMO and MFF, and it does everything for us. Yeah, sometimes we'll hit slippage, but it does everything for us versus having to like manually enter and exit. So yeah, if you figure it out, Patricia, please reach out. I'm going to keep doing my research too. I know there's another platform with NinjaTrader that is usable. It's called Replicate or something like that. But the problem is you can't trade on TradingView still, which is exactly what I want. I want to trade directly on TradingView, but I also want there to be a copier for me to copy my trades across the accounts. Yeah, C6 said, which is insane that Tradeovate can't function like a 6-bit program. You know, I didn't realize that a NinjaTrader bought Tradeovate. So, I mean, that might be the issue. Since they bought Tradeovate, it might be an issue where there's just the cross function. It's just weird because the cross function functionality is like, it kind of made it worse, because now they got to figure out how to integrate their programs with each other, because NinjaTrader has their own copier, which actually works well. It works just like social trader tools. You have to pay like a licensing fee when it works, but they don't have that on the actual Tradeovate. Yeah, NinjaTrader's been around for a long time, so you would see. C6 asking if Top Step allows EAs. Honestly, I have no idea. I didn't know you could put an EA on Tradeovate. Do they have EAs for them? I'm pretty sure you might have them for NinjaTrader, but not for Tradeovate. Tradeovate's kind of like a more basic, it's more of a basic platform. All right, guys. So it's getting close to 7:50. Yeah, if there's anything else that you guys want to discuss and cover, let me know. Otherwise, I'll probably wrap this up soon. You know, the thing with NinjaTrader though is that I heard like a lot of bad things too, C6. So I don't know. It's like hit or miss. I did a lot of research yesterday, and I went into like basically a black hole. I was just I was looking at like so many different things. I heard like the execution times on NinjaTrader aren't that good. Their data feeds are off. There's like a couple times where the data feed was just not working, and it was for the live accounts. It wasn't even for funding companies or anything like that. It was their actual live accounts. I don't know if they run through Rhythmic. I know they have a couple different options, because NinjaTrader is basically MT4, so you can run your own like whatever type broker on there. But they ended up buying Tradeovate, so they use Tradeovate. So it's not necessarily the NinjaTrader platform, but it's like the brokers that they were using before. Now they use Tradeovate. Back then they were using like Rhythmic, and I think there's like Quant Tower and a couple other companies that. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I'm all new to this stuff, guys. I haven't traded futures before like this, but you know, I'm gonna keep doing my research and try to figure out solutions. There's got to be a solution for it. There's no way that there's no copier for a Tradeovate. Tradeovate's been around for like, I don't know, like what, 10, 20 years. They've been around for a long time. So there's got to be some sort of copier that someone has developed that I can pay for. I'll pay for it. If you guys know somebody that knows a copier for Tradeovate, I'll pay for it. It doesn't matter the cost, because if I can copy like, you know, like 20 accounts, then I mean, I'm gonna make my money back easily, like one trade. Brock said, where have I been? Living under a rock, Brock. TraderMate's like one of the Ninja Trader and all these companies, they've been around for like probably before you were born. Brock. These futures companies have been around for a long time. Yeah, I know I've heard of Ninja Trader when I was like a child. When I was a little kid, I saw Ninja Trader advertisements everywhere, like on old Windows computers. But I mean, I'm new to it too, Barack. So I've known about it, but I didn't really look into it because I didn't trade futures till like recently. Before we were trading Forex, so it didn't make sense for us to use them. But now that we trade US30, it's it just makes sense for us to trade with a futures broker. All right, guys, it's 7:51. We're going like way off topic. There's no entries for us to take right now. So if there's anything else that you guys want to cover, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up for the day. If there's more profits that you guys have to post up, feel free to send them in, and then I will add them to the list to be showcased later today for our posting of the trades. So Patrick over here logged in a total profit of 2,661 for the day, all wins. And definitely, yeah, Patrick said good way to end the day and the trading week. Same with me too. I ended this week pretty nice. And Nelly over here as well. Welcome back, Nelly, to the group. I know Nelly took some time off, but he's back here now. Total profit of 2,121 for the day. Nice work, Nelly. Great comeback for the day. With some nice profits. So, all right, guys, I think that might be it for the day. All right, Daniel said, have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy them profits. Definitely. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you guys back here on Monday. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me on Telegram or email me. Another reminder, guys, if anybody messages you on Telegram, they're probably scamming you. So don't, like, if it's a random person messaging you, they're probably scamming you. So don't fall for that. Other than that, I think that's about it. Again, I'll never message you as well. So if you guys get a message from who you think may be me, it's probably not me. You're gonna have to think of a code word. I'll have to think of a code word so that you guys like can know that it's actually me. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys then. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys back here on Monday.